collectors and Transformer fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible support from my Optibotimus Plus channel members, especially the one and only Fire Truck, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Legacy Voyager class Predacon INFERNO. For the royalty! That was for you, Fire Truck. For the package, though, as you can see, got the nice Transformers text here along the side with the Generation logo. Gorgeous image of Inferno in his ant mode with a cannon coming out of the back of him. Of course, you got that openness, which allows you to kind of, like, if you really wanted to, maybe rip his head off. I don't even know. Oh, you can open his mouth. His mouth opens? Shut up. No way. Yes, it does. Oh my god, that's amazing. You can see on the side here, you got a cool kind of cross image here where you got that up-close look for Inferno right there, and then a more pullback image of him at the bottom. When you come around to the side, this side here has the other figures that are available. So I really like that they kind of do that instead of splitting it up on both sides. That's kind of cool. Come around to the back of the package. You can see that he transforms in 26 steps. And of course, you got images of him in his robot and his beast mode. And of course, if you want to, you can scan that and get his little bio and such. But this is pretty exciting because does that kind of complete all of the basic Season 1 Maximals and Predacons? I'm trying to think if there's any other characters that we haven't gotten yet. At least, like I said, in Season 1. This is pretty fun. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And because the royalty commands it, here we have the new Voyager class Inferno opened up out of its packaging, and obviously in his extremely large fire ant mode. And that was the thing that I instantly noticed with this guy. And it honestly took me a second to really realize that Inferno in the cartoon was fairly large. For the Predacons, he actually, if memory serves right, the second largest right below Megatron. Which is weird because he's an ant. But this is a great figure nonetheless. Honestly, possibly my favorite of all of the Predacon beasts that we've gotten. This is just really very clean looking. As you can see, great detail all the way around. I love how they got the texture built into the kind of skin of the ant mode where you can see the different bumps, color variations throughout the entire thing, which is really nice. Like darker elements here, some lighter elements, some more darker ones. You have a nice metallic purple here that also has a little bit of a red underlay. All of that looks really good, and then you can see that it kind of transitions and fades to more red out here on the side. Same thing here with the head. Great detail with the skin texture. You got little horn bits here. I also like how, I don't know how that's going to come across, but you actually can see through the eye, which puts a lot of light through there, which looks really great. You got the antenna right here in the front, and then of course the very large oversized mandible that really does look very, very cool. Rest of the body has a lot of real cool coloration as well, especially when you look here at the legs. Very simple, very brown, but you can see that texture throughout it as well with the different bumps that the rest of the body has. And then you can see a few little spikes going up and down. But for the most part, like I said, he cleans up decently. The only part that, I mean, you can see a little bit of side bit here, but it's kind of hidden by his legs, which I really do dig. And then you come around to the back, and these are going to be his feet. Those kind of stick out a little bit more, but really, it's not terribly bad. I mean, that's really a very impressive looking beast mode. Now, he does have a weapon, which is this, what looks like almost like a translucent red bit with a lot of this very nice dark gunmetal gray throughout here. Now, unfortunately, there's no real kind of hidden storage for it. You got a little hole right here that you can plug that in, and that's what we saw in the package where he's like blasting, and that kind of looks ridiculous. I do wish there was a way you could hide it somewhere else underneath here, you know, maybe even just kind of like cramming up under there or something. You do have these little holes on the side, which I'm really curious about. You got this little post here, which comes into play in his robot mode, and then of course the handle. But you got these, which I'm really kind of curious about why those are actually there. That's kind of strange to me. You do have some like little blast effect holes right here where you can plug little effect pieces inside there, so you can do that. I don't know why And that's just one of those 5mm ports or whatever. I mean, so I wish there was a way to know if there was any kind of storage on this. There's nothing in the instructions, and you just got to put it here, which I don't particularly like. I mean, I guess you could do it, but I feel like all the other Beast Wars figures primarily have hidden that weapon fairly decently. Now, talking about those other Predacons, like I said, for the most part, we have the main cast of the Predacons. The only ones that we were really missing came on later on with, like, Rampage. Who else? Quick Strike, I guess? Is that it? I can't really remember. But for comparisons, let's start bringing these in. Here is Leader Class Megatron. Yes. Of course, the Traitor Black Arachnia. The one and only Pterosaur. Specifically the Golden Disc version. Here we have Tarantulas. Let's just bring him inside here. He's a good-sized guy. Of course, Scorponok comes in next. So let's kind of get her out to the side. Put Scorponok right there. And then, last but not least, one of my and your favorites, Raspinator. And here you have all the Predacons. And this is a great cast. This looks amazing. Absolutely, breathtakingly amazing. All of them are extremely well done. Some better than others, obviously. But for the most part, I could not be happier the fact that we got such really cool updated versions of these Beast Wars characters. I've talked about it time and time again that Beast Wars is definitely up there, very close tie with Transformers Animated as my favorite of all Transformers series. And the fact that we have all these Predacons here, I'm loving it. Like I said, the only ones that Rampage, yeah, Quick Strike. And I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. There might be another one. But in terms of, like, primary ones, this is it. And this looks great. Now, coming in for the transformation, it's actually fairly simple to do, but very fun. The biggest problem is going to be these ant legs. They are going to get in the way all the time. So just kind of do your best just to kind of minimize them. First, we're going to come around here to these lower ones. We're going to bring these out from that cavity. Bring that all the way out. And you can extend them if you really want to right there. But fully extend those there. And then you can extend the arms just like that. Again, these little things are going to get in the way all over the place. And then you want to take this back section, detach this. You're going to then separate this. You can bring this up as well. And then these little pieces here, tab in, split that just like that. And then you can take these legs from the inside. And let's see how we're going to do that. Bring that out. Bring these. Separate that. And then you want to swivel that down. And then this whole leg here, you're just going to straighten out. That'll soft tab into place. And then fold the feet just like that. And then if that came out, just fold that out like that. Do that on this side as well. You can bring that leg forward. Fold this all the way around. You'll see that piece kind of comes out. And then take these legs, straighten them out. And you'll hear a lock when you get it popped into place just like so. Now, this can be done a couple different ways. I'm going to leave it closed off because realistically, the only time it was really opened was when it was flying around. I'll show that here in a bit, but I'm going to leave it like this for the time being. Then come around here to this bottom section. You want to rotate this around, and then this is going to hinge back, and then you can take that, kind of tuck that down along this backside. Then these, just kind of swivel these back and around. Again, you just kind of play with these how you see fit. Then this headpiece, you're going to split that. Bring this down, collapse that, bring that all the way down, and then make sure that's straight, and then that will fold all the way down, coming down, and then you bring the two halves of the head together like so. Take these little antennae, lift these up. This part does get a little bit tricky to do, but you got a little tab right here that you have to push this in and lock it down. I don't really like it very much because I feel like it's gonna detach something. So get that there, and you kind of bring that in, and then There we go. Lock that in, just like so. You can rotate these arms and then get these kind of out of the way. You gotta really rotate a lot of these little beast limbs. And that's, like I said, that's probably the most complicated part, just getting these little guys out of the way. So rotate that around. And you're just fighting with where these little things are going to go. Just like that. Rotate that out. And I guess you can, yeah, it's like, just kind of keep those along his back for the most part. Set that there. Straighten these legs out. Come on. There we go. And there we go. And then shift this head forward a little bit. And there you go, guys. Again, it's a little bit tricky to kind of really navigate where these little arms are going to go. But when you're done, there you have Inferno in his incredibly cool looking robot mode. And I absolutely love this guy. I don't know what it is about him, but for me, this figure really does embody all that crazy, insane character that we know and love about Inferno from Beast Wars. Everything about this guy is phenomenal. From the way that you can open his mouth and close it if you really want to, just to make him look more crazy, to the detail around the entire thing, to the fact that, as I said, you can actually give him his flying mode. Now, what you want to do for that, I guess, in terms of a nitpick, I guess you could say, you do have these arms that hang out all over the place. Again, it is what it is. There's really not much that you can do with it. But you come around here, and a lot of times when he would walk around, he would have the little back section of his ant butt. What I love, though, is you can open this up. You can detach all that stuff, lift that up. Now these, you kind of want to get these up and out of the way. You can open this. Flail that around. This piece here actually rotates around, and then this whole thing can shift up. You can see how it rotates around, and now he's got his little flying mode. I think it's supposed to be like this, actually, but he's got his kind of flying mode, which is absolutely amazing that they put that in there. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be the other way around. I don't really know. Whatever you want to do with it, but you kind of hinge that up. That is wicked awesome. You can even take this gun, and a lot of times he had this kind of as like a thruster sort of thing. You can see that this little section here is rounded because it fits where that is, and then you plug that in, and now you can have them. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. I don't really know, honestly. Maybe the bigger section looks better. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But you can create his flying mode for him, which I love that. Now, these little bits here don't like staying out all that well. They kind of like sort of lock there, but you can see it springs back. But I love the fact that you can do that. And, you know, I think symmetry-wise, I'm just being annoyed by it a little bit. But I think that is wicked awesome. Oh, no, don't pull that off. But you put that right back. Get on now. I think that's fantastic that they included that little feature where it's for the royalty, and then open his mouth. Ah! And wow, that's actually, there's a lot of good light piping coming from the back of him right there that you can see actually makes his mouth glow, which that's kind of funny as well. Just like I said, so much real sort of character in this guy. I'm so impressed with how he turned out. Maybe you rotate that. I don't know. I'm going to be incredibly annoyed with how this actually works. But so cool how this guy turned out. Really quite impressed with him. Now, truthfully, I'm more than likely going to keep him tucked away. Have this all kind of sort of thing. Now, see this popping off. It's just a little tab thing here, but that's going to annoy me. Get on there. Come on. There we go. So you rotate that piece around, put that down, and then this collapses. And again, now you have him just kind of standing there, which, again, that is so cool. Maybe, you know, leave the little ant arms up like that. That kind of cleans up the bottom a little bit more. But for some comparisons, like I said, we now have pretty much all the Predacons, so let's get them out here. Here, obviously, is Inferno, alongside Waspinator, Pterosaur, Black Arachnia, Scorponok, Tarantulas, and Megatron. And again, I am absolutely loving this. This is so ridiculously cool. I'm completely blown away by how great all of these look. 100% Hasbro has nailed it with these. And even though some of them are weaker than others, like for example, Waspinator is not one of the best, Scorponok's really not up there, the rest are outstanding. And I really can't imagine this getting better outside of Takara doing masterpiece versions of all of these guys. But even still, in terms of the masterpiece ones that we've gotten, like, for example, Megatron, that's basically a masterpiece figure, but not at that masterpiece price point. So, great job, guys. Now, coming in to take a closer look at him, a lot of the details that you saw in his Ant mode are still present here in his Robot mode. But you get a real cool look now here at his head. I absolutely love the way that looks. I mean, oh, wrong way. That is an incredible head sculpt on there. It's also really nicely enhanced by the paint applications that he has. With this very nice metallic blue, you got some silver bits. Of course, you got, like I talked about, that very nice light piping that really only kind of comes into play. I mean, the eyes are red, but you only really get that light piping when you open the mouth, and then it's plain to see, and I absolutely love that. That is one of the best head sculpts, maybe of the year. I'm just really impressed with it. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion with it, kind of looking left, right. It also does kind of hinge forward and back. It's kind of part of mostly the animal mode, because you could articulate the head a little bit. Shoulders here move forward and back. They move in and out. They rotate at the upper part of the bicep there. As part of the transformation, you get two bends here at the elbow. And then you do have wrist rotation, but it's connected to the ant leg. So you can rotate that around, but it is a little bit ugly, to be honest. You do get waist articulation, which is interesting. I didn't think you really were going to too terribly much, but that's a good range of motion. You do have to move some of the stuff out of the way, but you can definitely utilize it. Hips move forward and back, in and out. They rotate at the upper part of the thigh. When you come down to the knee, you do technically have two knee joints. One's meant to kind of lock into place, though, so realistically, it's only the one. And then the ankles do move forward and back a little bit, kind of as part of the toe, and then also you have the ankle tilt. So lots of articulation in the guy, and just an overall stellar representation of Inferno. I think that he turned out absolutely wonderfully. Now, first transformation back. First, you're going to want to detach this torso bit. So give that a good tug. It's hard to... There we go. Pull that away, and then you can open up the ant head itself. Make sure that you get that kind of all the way flush so you can fold the mandibles out just like that. And then bring this up. Again, you're going to have a lot of problems with these arms and such. So bring this up like that, and then you want to close the... What's going on here? Close the ant head around the regular head, just like that. Just kind of squeeze that together, just like that. And then, like I was saying, that's a good way to kind of articulate that. You can fold these down if you really want to right then. Come around here to these arms. And then you want to take this, and you're going to bring this in, but you have to rotate this around as well. So bring this around. That's going to sit here. And then you need to rotate the little ant leg around. Get that kind of out of the way as well. You have these little square sections here that actually kind of fit where the thumb is. So the thumb slides in there. It's kind of hard to see it, but you need to shift that all the way in. So it's going to be kind of straight like that. So again, you're going to bring this up and around. This rotates this. Get that stupid leg out of the way. There we go, something like that. And then bring that in. And then fold that. And then again, you're going to take the thumb and put that thumb inside that little squared off area inside there. When you get it together, when you get it there, you'll be able to sandwich the two arms and lock them into place. So bring that around. And where are you at? Come on. There we go. So get that in there nice. Kind of angle that. There we go. So like so. And then again, you can kind of play with these arms how you want to. Just for the most part, get them out of the way. This is fairly easy though. You're going to want to open this. Come on, detach that. Detach that. Now this whole front section here at the waist area is going to fold forward so that he's kind of bending forward, and then get these legs again kind of up and out of the way. Then when you have it like this, you want to rotate him here, and then you can push it a little bit further to get it all the way down. Make sure these stay hinged back, and then bring everything back there. And then you can bring these pieces around. Again, these ant legs are going to get in the way. Bring this, and then you got a little post here that's going to line up on this side. It is a little bit tricky to kind of find it. There we go. Then again on that side, squeeze that in. That's not supposed to be down there. Lock that in on that side. Bring that all the way down. Then this will collapse down there. And this is where you can really kind of just straighten out these legs. Kind of angle them back like that, just to kind of get the legs kind of looking natural. It is a little bit tricky with this one. The legs are always kind of going in a different direction of sorts. So there's that, there's that. These ones, I'm going to rotate down. And you just kind of try and get them to sit down. These ones are definitely a little bit more tricky to do. But see, like, this is where it looks weird. Because, like, some of these little ant legs don't like going completely down. So you'd have to be creative with it to get them all as close to being on the ground as possible. But when you're done, there you have Inferno back in his ant mode. And honestly, like I said, this might be my favorite of all the new Beast Wars style figures that we've been getting. This guy just turned out great. The ant mode, I think, cleans up really nicely. The only part that really does kind of stick out would be back here, but you can kind of almost ignore that to a degree. It doesn't look terribly bad, honestly. Transformation is fairly fun to do. There is a little bit of a kind of finesse that you need with it, especially when you're trying to get the arms tucked up underneath here, but it's not really that bad, honestly. It's not worth even kind of complaining about. But robot mode is stellar. I love how he's big. I love how he's massive. I love that head sculpt. For me, this is not just a home run, but it's a grand slam. It nails it on all three criteria about the robot mode, transformation, and beast mode. And it has that extra factor of just being fun. But there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Transformers Legacy Voyager class Inferno. If you'd like to add this guy to your collection, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can do the real simple thing like go online to places like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, or even Entertainment Earth. For all of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where you can swing by and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. And finally, guys, please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. And until next time, this has been Optibotimus saying adios, au revoir, and auf Wiedersehen.